probably 3 turkeys. The goblin just over there now. They're probably hearing 4. Yeah, he's pretty close now. Yeah, he's coming. He's coming. Where is he? What is going on, guys? Jason Liebarger from Liebarger Outdoors. We are here in the turkey woods in Minnesota for an early morning spring turkey hunt. The sun has come up, the turkeys are gobbling, and the weather's looking really good. Stay tuned to see how things end up today. The turkey's pretty close. Need him to come a little closer. I don't have eyes on him yet. Alright, this guy's gotten a little quiet now. He's either sneaking in or he left with some other hen. But that's okay. We have time. When he's ready, he'll come over. So kind of a weird thing, I've seen a lot of animals out in the wild while hunting. So like I said earlier, there's a couple deer that are working their way through, which is a good sign. I like that. Plus I like watching them. But as they're working through, a raccoon, it comes through, like, just walks right past them. I've never seen a raccoon with other animals before. So it's kind of a weird thing. At least for me. But, alright, so while we're waiting for the big Tom to come in, I just wanted to cover my location a bit. So, for turkey hunting, there's kind of 2 sides of it as far as location. People will hunt the fields, or people will hunt the woods. I think field hunting is a little more common as far as what you see on maybe YouTube videos and things like that. For me personally, I've had success both in the field and in the woods. But in the last probably 8 years or so, I have now hunted the woods a lot more. So the woods are kind of my go-to first approach. Part of that is just the land you can hunt and how it works on the property, so you need to learn the property. But for me, with hunting in a blind, with my kids, and just hunting different weather and all that kind of stuff, I have had more success in the woods with my style hunting. I do run 3 decoys. Typically, one of my decoys is a half-strutted jake, so that it basically helps get your unaggressive Tom to come over, so it can scare off smaller birds at times, or less aggressive birds, because he looks, a little bit aggressive. But I've had a lot of success with that. And then I run 2 hens. One of them's kind of a looker, just looking around in general, and then one of them decoys are DSD, so Dave Smith decoys. And to be honest, I've had them since probably like 2008, and they've held up amazing. I haven't had to do anything to them, so that's been pretty awesome. Alright, back to location. I primarily hunt the woods. I think part of that is historical. You know, I've hunted a lot of public land, and when you hunt public land, at least around Minnesota, Wisconsin, the birds are not out in fields as much. So I think they're more pressured, and it depends on where the crops are and things like that, or the food sources are. You know, historically I've hunted woods. So in this location I am on private land. I've hunted this property probably for 4 years now with really good success. So in the past, when I started hunting this property, I started hunting out in this field where this red X is, just some different locations around there, with, decent success still, but it seemed like they were a little more hesitant to come out. And so it's either a field day or a not field day, where I feel like the woods in general is, you can get a bird in the woods when it's a field day and not a field day. So that's kind of my perspective. So anyways, I'm set up in these woods right here, and basically, if you can see, there's a big chunk of woods to the south, and then there's a big chunk of woods to the north. They actually roost to the north, kind of in this area here. So as you can see, I'm set up in the woods, kind of at a pinch point. So when they are traveling through the woods, there's a good chance, they get kind of pinched down in that, in this area. Otherwise, if they're out in the field on either side too, they'd be able to hear my call and potentially come in. So in this location, I have seen them out in the fields kind of all around here, but this spot allows me to kind of call to the different areas. It's a little more centralized, and it's a pinch point for the woods. The birds do tend to roost over in this area here, so which is not on the property I can hunt. So in general, it's hard for me to get up right up to where they roost. I get pretty close at times, probably around, 200 yards or so at times, but these trees specifically in this area, I haven't really ever had a turkey roost here. So that being said, it does seem to be a heavy travel area, and depending on time of day, it can really pay off. Yeah, so that's my spot. There's not a whole lot of crops specifically around this area. A lot of the fields that you saw on that map are actually grass, so like hay fields and stuff. So what you do get is a lot of moisture there. They're low with the rains we've had. So there's a lot of worms and other types of food sources for the turkeys. So that's a big plus. One other tip I'll just say while we're waiting this out is the woods can also produce pretty good at midday. So I've shot a lot of turkeys in the woods around noon. So between 10 and noon, I think the birds are kind of flocked up early when things are hot and heavy. And then after that, the toms and even the jakes will kind of break off and explore a bit on their own during the middle of the day. And that's where I've had a lot of success before. So yeah. So anyways, beautiful morning out. Lots of goblins so far. They're kind of doing their normal thing, where they're in the farther north woods right now. Maybe even out in the fields around there, but if we wait them out, they tend to come this way eventually, so fingers crossed. Alright, Alright, so we just had one gobble kind of behind us. Not sure if he's out in the field, working the field, or if he's in the woods, but we gave him a couple calls real quick, and now we'll kind of wait it out a bit more. So we'll see what happens. Exciting stuff. I was debating if I was going to shoot it. There's like 2 or 3 birds that came in, jakes, and they seemed to get a little spooked by the decoy spread, or maybe they caught my movement because I do have a window open over here that I don't normally have open. It just with where I'm sitting, it helped me see a bit better, so they came in pretty quickly, pretty close again, but knocked him down. So it was a good shot. But yeah, all turkeys taste pretty dang good, so I'm pretty stoked about this. I don't have a lot of hunting days this season, so with the weather we've had, very limited. This will allow me to take my son out for the youth hunt this weekend, and we can see what we can do together. He's been out a few times too, but the weather's been pretty bad. This weekend actually looks a little rough for weather also, but we'll see what we can do, see what we can get done. Yeah, pretty exciting. Done pretty early today. I think that happened at probably about 7:15, so a nice quick hunt. I knew it was going to be a good hunt today just with the weather we have, so pretty awesome. I'm pretty stoked. Let's go check out the bird. It's a good shot. Beautiful bird. I'm just so thankful I can hunt out here with my family. The meat off these birds is incredible. A beautiful day. Just a beautiful day. Like, how can you ask for anything more? Get out here and try it. You get to see the sun come up, the woods wake up, the birds and animals waking up. Just such a beautiful thing. We're gonna haul this thing out of here, butcher it up when we get home. Probably be home by about 8:30. So just in time for breakfast.